Hey, what it do, YouTube? It's your boy Q, and we have just 3 weeks of VCT Pacific action left. We're rounding the corner. We're coming down the home stretch. Granted, we do still have Super Week left to wrap things up here in just a couple of weeks, but we do have a Seoul team left undefeated at the top of the standings after DRX and Gen.G squared off this weekend. And like other regions in VCT we talked about earlier this week, which, by the way, if it's your first time through, we do cover every region in VCT and release almost daily esports news, updates, and more. So if you're looking for a good place to keep up to date, hit that subscribe button and turn those notifications on. But like the other regions in VCT right now, the playoff field might be getting more clear, but it's the positioning of those teams that's very far from being determined. And unfortunately, another week, another single loss week when it comes to my pickems. I'm starting to think that I'll just never get myself a perfect week. It's kind of torturous, but let's go ahead and get things started off as far as talking about last week. Things started off with a banger, a 6-map starter as far as for the fans. We got to start off with PaperRex versus Global Esports. It actually started off with us going out to Icebox the last time that these two teams would be playing on it. 7-13 in favor of Global Esports. But once these teams started really getting things going, especially once you start letting PaperRex cook, they're a hard team to stop. And we saw just that over on Split. 13-6 there, holding them to just 3 rounds per half on Bind. And then we were to go off to Pearl there, and Global Esports weren't able to get much more of anything going. 13-7, they would be able to pull off that reverse sweep, and it was PaperRex who was able to come out with the dub, which would then set the stage actually for that undefeated matchup that we were talking about at the top of things here, Gen.G versus DRX. And you'll see here as far as when we open things up on Haven, it didn't look pretty. I mean, we're talking about DRX opening things up 11-1 in the first map on Haven, on the way to taking that first map. But we did see Gen.G able to bounce back on Fracture, able to go just about the distance, 13-10, winning those last 3 rounds in a row, which would then force us to go to Pearl. But unfortunately, Gen.G just never seemed to show up on Pearl. I mean, only once did they win back-to-back rounds. Otherwise, just really not to get anything able to start working in their favor. DRX hit heavy. They hit often, walking away in the battle of undefeated, able to give Gen.G their first L. Now, we do got to remember that RRQ was coming off of a big upset last week. They were trying to keep that momentum going after that win against Team Secret. T1, however, they were able to bounce back from back-to-back losses. They were actually able to get things started off going on Haven there, 13-9, able to really kind of keep a firm grip of control of things, then even going out to Fracture where they were really able to put their pedal down to the metal, only giving up 1 rifle round, otherwise losing both pistols and 1 following eco round. So really having control of the game from the word go. And speaking of Team Secret, that team that RRQ did upset last week, they did have to bounce back as well. And unfortunately, it was Detonation Focus Me who were the ones who had to kind of catch the brunt end of that comeback there. I mean, they were able to push them the distance over there on Descent, 13-11. It was Team Secret, though, that would win that last and most important round in order to pick up the W. Then it was out to Haven, really able to keep that momentum in their favor, 9-3 in the first half. It would be a 13-8 dub to allow them to break out the brooms. And that would really only leave us with our last game of the week, ZETA Division versus Talon Esports. ZETA was slow out of the gates when we talk about going out to Haven, map number 1. It was 4-8 at half, eventually dropping the map 8-13. But then whenever we got to Ascent, they were able to force overtime, right? And it was going to be a 30-round banger of a matchup of the game to wrap things up as far as on Ascent. And, it was going to be Talon able to wrap things up. And, I'm starting to kind of feel like a broken record here because, again, that is another week after. Oh, I just realized it doesn't show 16-14 there for you. That is another week for your boy at 4-1. I am so close to that perfect week. I haven't been able to get myself one across any of the regions, though. But before we do get into our pickups for this week, week 6. Sheesh, week 6. Cruising along. But anyways, YouTube, how's your sleep, fam? Do you catch yourself getting headaches after long nights at the grind? GamerAdvantage is a leader in impactful eyewear technology that's been proven to help you sleep better, focus more, all without distorting color or comfort. Relieving headaches and eye strain, all while fitting comfortably under a headset. As always, that link will be down in the description below, and when you check out, don't forget that code YoBoyCue hooks you up with that 10% discount. Y'all see me all the time rocking at least one of my frames, and even when I gotta take out my contacts and need prescription, GamerAdvantage has my back because they do that too. Increased sleep and production while decreasing headaches and eye strain. Sounds like a win-win to me. But let's go ahead and get into these pick'ems here. Week number 6, just a couple of weeks left, kind of like I was talking about earlier. This is going to be our very first week with a perfect bracket, though. It's going to start off with T1 looking to have a little bit of redemption on their mind after getting swept by PaperRex. Now, Detonation focused me. Maybe they win a map, and that's a big maybe because that would only be their second map one of the season. I actually think that T1 is going to take this one rather easily. Now, when we talk about the game between ZETA Division and Team Secret, I think ZETA Division kind of got caught overlooking their opposition last week. I don't think that they're going to allow themselves to pay the price twice on the standings. Give me Team Secret here to give them a little bit of resistance, but I do think ZETA Division goes and wins this thing in 3. Now, as far as the two teams that went into last week undefeated, I think they're going to continue to show the rest of the region why they were undefeated prior to playing one another, and we're going to go ahead and see them continue to rock and roll, which will leave us with just our last matchup of the week. That's going to be Talon Esports versus PaperRex. Talon's going to be coming off their first series win, but ain't no way they're going back-to-back. Matter of fact, give me PaperRex in 2, but let me know, YouTube, where are your pick'ems for the week? Where am I right? Where am I wrong? Let me know down in those comments below. Also, once you're done, let me know down in those comments below. Help me out by lighting up that like button as well down that bottom right-hand corner, all right? Those two things help you boy out the most when it comes to getting my content in front of more people as we're chasing down that first 500 subscribers as we just crossed that first 200 subscribers earlier this week. All thanks to your guys' help. I freaking appreciate you guys. Y'all are amazing. But you know what? Let's go ahead and get down and do what it do. I know everyone's favorite part when we do these weekly wrap-up videos is the Power 5 rankings. Now, quick reminder to anybody who may be new here, I do consider record and round differential and all that, right? But that's not all that is considered. And we do this for every region. So if you're looking to kind of watch a little bit of every region, kind of keeping up on everything, I do have a playlist that I'll have linked over at the end, or I'll also leave a little tag up in this top right-hand corner for you, all right? Now, in that number 5 spot, when we talk about that power ranking, that's going to be T1. Now, for T1, their only wins have been against teams that are currently outside of the playoff picture. They don't exactly have the toughest road ahead as far as to get to the finish line, but it's not exactly easy either. I do think the number 5 spot is going to be good for them for now. I'm going to be kind of curious to see how these next couple of weeks play out for them. Now, in that number 4 spot, though, that's going to be Team Secret. I'm pretty convinced that they came in expecting an easy win against RRQ last week, which is what allowed them to come in and get upset. But I do think that they are still a top team within the region itself. 3 of their 4 games that are left are against teams that are more than likely going to be making the playoffs. So we'll really get to see how this team sits within the region over these next couple of weeks. Now, in that 3rd spot there, that's going to be PaperRex. Despite being 7-5 on maps altogether this season, you'll see that they're actually plus 20 in the round differential. So what that means is those maps that they do lose, they are able to keep relatively close. And, you know, I don't know if they're better than those top 2 teams right there. We're going to have to wait till Super Week when they do play against Gen.G. They have already played against DRX and lost. But we'll have to wait and see. And speaking of Gen.G, that's going to be our number 2 team as far as right now in our Power 5. I did try telling y'all all season long, for those of you who are doubting me, that when I said DRX was still top in the region, it's not Gen.G's like bad by any means. I mean, they definitely showed some promise in their matchup, but DRX just continues to look to be a staple of perfection within the region. Sitting at the top, being the only team to drop a single map, which was, of course, to Gen.G there, which is why DRX will continue to be running through the region at that top spot, like we've said in previous week itself. But I am kind of curious, YouTube, how would you guys rank your top 5 rankings for the Pacific region for VCT? Definitely let me know down in those comments below. As I had mentioned previously, those comments and those likes, those are the things that help me out the most when it comes to getting my content in front of more people. And we did just cross over that 200 subscribers, try to chase down that first 1,000 over here. So if you enjoyed the vibe and you want to be back for almost daily esports news, updates, interviews, stuff like that, make sure you smack that subscribe button, turn those notifications on. That way we can catch y'all right back here, all right? And until we do catch y'all back over here on YouTube or wherever we do cross paths next, man, don't forget, with everything crazy going on in the world today, be true, be you, be sincere, game hard and love hard, all right, y'all? It's your boy Q, signing out.
If you ain't show something, you just don't wanna be. You wanna be me, but you will never be as fresh as see you in.